I heard that you settled down. Oh, for crying out loud. And you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. La-dee-da-dee-dum. I wouldn't give to you. Old friends. I'm trying to put on my hand. Hold on a second here. Okay, this is stupid. Hey, Boozhoo, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast where I just started streaming. I hit that stream button and I'm not even ready. But anyway, I want to say, welcome to the show. Doesn't look like anyone's here just yet. A live stream on a Sunday, on a prayer day. And our word is Dabwewin, truth. What is the truth? And I was going to save this for later, but I'm just going to play it so I can get myself going. People wonder, they say, hey man, is Elvis Presley still alive? And I go, I don't know. They said he died. But then, what is the Dabwewin? What is the truth? Well, I got to tell you, you know what I think, sweetie? What do you think? I think the king is still alive. Check this out. This is Pastor Bob Joyce from Arkansas. I think it's Arkansas. And his son, who just happens to be an Elvis Presley. Oh, hey, Brandy Marie. Bonjour. I got started before I was ready. and we had kind of a rough start. But Dabwewin's truth. And I was just talking about why I believe Elvis is still alive. And check this out.
So much about love and about mercy. I cannot give you what. There's no condemnation in Christ. There's nothing of just love. It's what will break. It is free. It is free. The only freedom we have is true.
I don't know, man. What is the truth? The truth is, I'm having a hard time making myself big again. Is Elvis still alive? I mean, there's, a conspiracy behind that. There's a lot of stuff you can look at, pictures from the funeral. You can speculate on what was going on in his life. Speculate on a lot of stuff. But when it comes right down to singing, and I know for a lot of people, if they don't sing, like those two guys right there, they're sitting in a bar, hanging out. Looks like old Pastor Bob Joyce, Elvis, is having a lemonade or something there. And they make it look so easy. Like, they just have a gift. But it's just like playing guitar or piano or anything. Singing is like, it's such a craft. It's just a skill. And people aren't just born being able to sing like that. And not many people, the reason why Elvis was so popular and so loved was that he actually, it was a gift, but he was just a great, great, great singer, objectively. The truth. The Buewin. So I don't know. Doesn't matter if I want Elvis to be alive or not. That guy sure seems like he's Elvis Presley. And it seems like the people in that bar kind of knew something too. But I don't know, man. Truth, the Buewin. It's represented by the turtle, Mexique. The turtle. Truth is very important. And so today we're going to talk about what is true. What is the truth? Because, a lot of people, they don't like to call themselves conspiracy theorists. They call themselves truthers. And they say, that term conspiracy theorist, in fact, is a conspiracy to make people who don't believe the official story, to make them look crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. You think you have a theory that there was a conspiracy as like a mystery or whatever. It's like, yeah, I guess. But sometimes it's just calling out the truth. Not when you're in college, they'll teach you, there is no truth. There's only your subjective experience. And we were talking about this the other day. How art classes, they make everyone feel good. So, you're a real artist. Good for you, Johnny. Look at that. You made a finger painting. We're going to put it up on the fridge because you're an artist. You're a real artist. And people grow up going, yeah, that's great. And I guess abstract art, its beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There is no objective truth, no real beauty. It's just whatever you feel. And so then they go to, you can't tell me what's good or bad. Maybe I think that Van Gogh is a great artist. And so my truth is that Sunflowers or whatever is a beautiful painting. My truth is that, and it gets into this with music. They go, you can't rate music from best to worst. It's all subjective. I like to listen to, gangsta rap. Gangsta rap. Is that even a term anymore? Or, who's somebody who's really bad? Just objectively bad singing, bad writing, Madonna or something. And then there's, Elvis Presley. Glory, glory, hallelujah is truth. See, can you tell the difference between my voice? A fairly decent voice is nothing compared to that guy, So you got to be able to call what is true. And if Elvis is really alive, we should know the truth. Because to know the truth is to recognize you've been lied to. And, I think we're living in a world of lies. Do you believe your lying eyes? Here's the crazy thing, too. So the conspiracy, they go, where did it all start? Back on Santa Claus. Why do they lie about Santa Claus? Do they want kids to figure out in the end? Is that part of the story? But there's so many lies that are built upon lies upon lies. Like they figured everything out. Like there isn't still a mystery in every aspect of life, from our history to where we live to God. Everything is still a mystery. And there might be some people who know the truth. But the question is there really is a truth? So in college and what do they call it? Postmodernism. They say, there is no objective truth. It's all cultural. What do they call it? Society. It's a social construct. You can't say that there's any truth. And, we get into all the transgender stuff. Men are stronger than women? Oh, really? What about Serena Williams? It's like, yeah, okay, there's overlap. But typically men are stronger physically than women. But, you can't say that's an absolute truth. It's like, no, okay, it's a statistical truth. I'm not going to get into all that right here, but so they say there's no truth in beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. So, Jackson Pollock, Andy Warhol, whoever, every basic artist you see, they say, it's subjective. This is for you to decide if you find it beautiful. And music too. They go, no, you can't say that one group is better than the other. And they got a point, There's a lot of things which it's hard to say, no, that's, Star Trek is better than Star Wars. The next generation is better than the original Star Trek. You can debate this. Who's better, the Rolling Stones or the Who? Or the Beatles or whatever. But when it really comes down to it, then it goes back down to the flat earth and the spinning ball theory. The globe theory. The theory of gravity. Because there, you're either on a spinning ball, floating through space, zooming around in an elliptical orbit around a fiery ball that burns with no air, or you're not. It can't be subjective. You can't say, well, my truth is we're living in a snow globe. In my truth, the there's water above and water below. And there's a firmament, like the Bible says. Maybe your truth is there was a big bang that blew up everything and made everything. But, what's the truth? You can't have it both ways. And that's where that saying comes from. He don't know up from down. When a person believes they live on a ball, they don't know up from down. There is no up and down if you're living on a spinning ball. It's just relative. Jessica says, comes down to the fact versus opinion. Something that actually happened is a fact. Yep. If you think someone is attractive, that's an opinion. Yeah. When it comes to art and music, it's all up to opinions. I know. It really is. I mean, I'm a Kiss fan. And most people, that's right down the middle. They're the most popular group, and they're probably the first group that people would say is the worst group. It's all opinion. Grieving Turtle, Boozhoo, says, "Ya hey away." Actually sounds like a more correct way to pronounce what some say Yahweh. 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 Boozhoo Yahweh. I like Yahweh better. Yah is the name, the creator in Hebrew, and Hey is the Hebrew number 5. We've got a way to go. 5. Yahweh. What do you think, sweetie?
About what?
About truth. What is the truth?
Oh, I don't know. It's what do you mean? Like, is there truth in there's absolute truth.
It's not all just subjective. Can you just choose your gender?
I don't think so, but some people think they do.
Yeah. I mean, you can, I guess. You can choose to present any way you want. You can choose a ready guide in some celestial voice. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You can choose a ready guide in la 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 la. I will choose a path that's clear. I will choose free will. Anybody remember? Here's an rest in peace, Neil Peart, the drummer for Rush, and a great poet. You can choose a ready guide in some celestial voice. But if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You can choose from phantom fears and a kindness that can kill. I will choose the path that's clear. I will choose free will. He's like the modern Shakespeare.
Yeah, no kidding. He was such a great poet.
Yeah. People are going to later on discover the lyrics of Rush. Their music overshadows some of their lyrics. People get distracted by I don't know. I'm not the biggest Rush fan, but I really love a few Rush songs with all my heart. All right. Isn't that the powwow chant? Oh, yeah, the powwow chant, Grieving Turtle. Grieving Turtle's talking about way hey ya, way hey way ya. Way hey ya, way ya, hey ya. Yeah, how you do that? Yahweh ya. Yahweh ya, Yahweh ya, Yahweh ya, Yahweh ya. That's crazy. Maybe the powwow singing audibles was always just saying Yahweh ya. Yahweh ya. Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh, wow. I think you're onto something there, Grieving Turtle. Because it's all a mystery, I almost pulled up another video of Reset History. They were showing a video from San Francisco. The story is, 1840s, the gold rush, people went out there. And then they had this panoramic photograph of the city 20 years later. Full city. Buildings, cathedrals. Every block for miles was filled with buildings, banks, and churches. And then, no people. There was no photographs of people. And that's not still in the browser, is it? No, probably not. And then they showed it after the so-called earthquake and fire of whatever year. And it looks just wiped out. Like it's been wiped off the map with just burned to the ground. Like, that's what a earthquake did? It looks like it was just bombed and bombed and bombed and just to smithereens. And then 40 years goes by and it's all built up again. And they show it get all built up again. And they have that, what they call it, the World's Fair in early 1900s. And it's all built up. And now those are temporary buildings and statues and, pools and fountains. And the people are back. And you go, what the heck happened? I don't know, man. But of course, I can't be bothered to pull up photos of it. I just, all I've learned is that we can't trust our history. I want to believe that my ancestors are, canoeing around in birch bark canoes in a perfect, pristine, untouched, undeveloped country, undeveloped land. I don't care that we didn't have swords, as the story goes, before Columbus. It's a beautiful idea that before the white people came, we were living in an undeveloped wilderness. But there's a lot of evidence to suggest that that's not true. And I don't know what the truth is. But I know I can smell a lie. I can smell a GOFUNDME. GOFUNDME. A lie. So I think they lied about our history books. And Michael Jackson tried to warn us. There was a press conference where, nobody took him seriously by this point because he's all messed up with plastic surgery. And he's all like,
They lied. They lied in the history books. There's a secret. They lie.
It's like, what? Oh, you're calling somebody a liar? How's that wife of yours? How are those white children that you made? Let's talk about the truth, Michael Jackson. Are you dead? Or are you Dave? Michael Jackson gets on Larry King as Dave. And he goes,
Hi, my name is Dave. And I'm a good friend of Michael Jackson's. And yeah, he was a great guy. And when I was a little boy, I was a burn victim. And now he's dead, for sure. I mean, not me. And you're like, wait, what's going on here? Did they lie about that? Everyone kind of knows already about some of the lies, like body doubles. Remember when Hillary Clinton passed out? Hillary Clinton, when she was running for president, it was like the 9/11 memorial or something, and she had to leave early because she was feeling all, feverish. She gets all dizzy before she gets in her van, and they whisk her away in what looks like an ambulance, a black ambulance. And then, a couple hours go by, and there's a new conference. She comes out. Oh, hello.
Oh, I'm feeling much better, thank you. No, I know it looked like I almost passed out and had to drag my limp body into the van. And I'm fine now. Oh, look, that little child. How are you doing, little child? Pats her on the head. And then, people go, hey, maybe you got the flu. Maybe you shouldn't be, I know this is a few years before the quarantine, but don't you social distance? Aren't you worried you might give her whatever you have? But then people goes, no, that's Hillary Clinton's double. She's got doubles, of course. They come out and make public appearances. All the celebrities do. You think Elvis Presley invented the celebrity impersonator? You think it ended with him? No, man. Well, what if Elvis is alive? What is the truth? But so Michael Jackson, did he die? Or was it one of his celebrity doubles who was living in Graceland? Isn't it weird that he didn't have any relationship with his brothers after all that time? He was either like mad, or maybe the brothers knew that wasn't the real Michael. It was interesting after that Pepsi commercial. So the story is, children, back in the days of the grandfathers, Michael Jackson filmed a Pepsi commercial and his hair caught on fire. And the story was, that's when he started doing drugs because of pain medicine. He got hooked on the pain pills because his hair caught on fire. I mean, big deal. But maybe it burned him up real bad. Maybe it was way worse than what we saw in the commercial. I don't know. Maybe something else happened too. We don't know. But in any case, so a Pepsi commercial happens. Michael Jackson is the biggest star in the world with Thriller. He does Thriller, and Beat It and all, his biggest album ever. And then the brothers get back together in the mix like a couple years later, and they do a world tour, the Jackson 5. And they got him dressed up like an idiot. And his brothers all come out and they do this big tour where the brothers are with Michael Jackson. And they go, I think that the truth is that wasn't the real Michael Jackson. The boy win is that Michael Jackson got replaced after the Pepsi commercial with a look-alike, sound-alike dancer type. And unlike Elvis, I think you can fake Michael Jackson singing. There's a lot of auto-tune and crazy stuff. Michael Jackson, I don't know. I think that could have been faked. But, I don't know. You want to weigh in on this, sweetie? Yeah. All right, let's look at this Elvis one more time. And Natasha, I'm going to let you get up here and talk to the people. Okay, so here is...
grace of God, a gift, only a gift that is given. But he taught me so much about love and about mercy. I mean, like, I cannot give you what, there's no condemnation in Christ. There's no nothing of just love. It's what will break. It is freedom. It is freedom. The only freedom we have is true. Freedom of us. Yeah.
His truth is marching on. Hikes. That's gotta be Elvis. There's no way. Let me get myself situated here. So how you doing, everybody? Boozhoo, Jessica Gonzalez. Jessica says, I think the theories that everything we developed here discredits the value of living in tribal family groups. There is much more value in living according to the seasons and having family structures. Yeah, there does seem to be behind all this. I mean, I hate to sound like that, but like an attack on the family. They don't want people living like they did in the past. In small tribal groups, you know, with strict codes of behavior and morality and all that. Value in at all. Grieving Turtle says, can the res police keep illegal immigrants out and thus be more law-abiding than Creepy Joe? There's trouble at the borders. Yeah. If only the people on the reservation were more law-abiding than the average person. I've never seen so many people drive without licenses. Yeah, but the borders, that is an interesting thing. You know, I remember when the COVID thing first started. I'm going to lose my mouse. They locked down the Red Lake borders when the whatever first hit. When the my corona hit, they locked them down. Nobody who without a reservation ID could get in. And they called it medical martial law. And people just, you know, it was like they were happy. Just, yep, we knew this was coming sooner or later. You know. But those same people would be like really mad at, you know, Trump for wanting to build a wall. Oh, that's racist. It's like, yeah. Which race is allowed in your borders? You know, you won't even let the Dakota in. Oh, like, not only do you have to be an Ojibwe, you've got to be a Red Lake Ojibwe to get in today, because we're under medical martial law. Bunch of fascists. Oh no, we're afraid of getting the cold. Don't want to let outsiders in. Nobody talked about that. You know? People freaking out when Trump was like, oh, don't let anyone from China in then, okay? What? That's racist. And then Red Lake, they're like, yeah, don't let anybody in. We hear there's a pandemic. It's like, yeah. You believe everything you hear? I bet you think Elvis is dead. I'm going to start mocking people who don't believe in conspiracy theories. Oh, I bet you believe we went to the moon. Okay, boomer. Have fun with that. Oh, look, they flew to the moon. They flew in a spaceship. Yeah, that's great. Uh-huh. You know Star Trek's a TV show, right? That's not real. You can't just fly into space. What else can I mock people that, they're always mocking us if you don't believe in, like evolution. I grew up, if I'm being honest, I grew up mocking people who didn't believe in evolution. Because I grew up in a kind of a Bible-believing church. Kind of, but they totally believed it. And at an early age, I started poking holes in some of the stories. Like, what? Noah's Ark? Are you kidding me? He built a boat and put all the animals? No, just 2 of each kind. Well, still, wouldn't that be millions of animals? And, what else? Oh, there's talking snakes? Talking snakes. We're supposed to take that literally? Come on. That's not real. There's no such thing as a talking snake. Or, Jonah and the whale. It all seems so stupid. Because they taught us about evolution. You can't have it both ways. It can't be, it's literally true, Bible. And, yeah, that's a little better. But then, I heard somebody say, like, to not believe in gravity, you either got to be really smart or really dumb. Most of the people in the middle just go, yeah, there's gravity. Obviously, because things fall to the ground. And the higher up you go and farther away from the planet, the less there is. So, you saw the astronauts on the moon, right? They were all floating around. That's because the moon has less gravity, so there you go. And dumb people go, what? No, that's stupid. There's no magical force. It's just because things are heavy. Or light. You go, no, dummy. Or if you're really smart, you go, no, that's just a theory. And Einstein is just a public figure, kind of like Bill Nye, the science guy, who came up with a theory that was counter to the biblical theory. The Bible doesn't even say it's a theory. It just said, this is what's going on. But science kind of went, no, that's a theory just like our theory. There's gravity. And then the really smart people, the ones who kind of had to call Einstein out on his stuff, were the people, it backfired when they educated people in math. Because after a while, the mathematicians went, wait a second. If that's true, then how come this and this? Your equations don't add up. And so science came back and said, oh, yeah, it had to do with matter. They go, with the amount of matter you say is in the universe, gravity in this equation doesn't work out. So they go, oh no, there's dark matter. There's matter you can't see. Oh, okay. Awesome. What's this, a black hole? What's that now? Oh, it's a magical thing that we totally didn't make up. Okay. So, I bet you guys believe in black holes too. Oh, look. An immense, intense hole in the fabric of space. The International Space Station. There's a lot of people believe that. Oh, look at us. We built this enormous space station that floats in the air, not that far away. You can see it once in a while fly by. And it's a space station, and there's astronauts who go up there and float around, and they do experiments. Oh, really? What have they experimented on or invented, or what have they ever achieved at all Once. Nothing? Why? Oh, because I don't know. They might be lying about doing that. No, they wouldn't lie about. Check the videos. They have videos. I mean, yeah, there's also videos of them in front of green screens. Just like us. You know. I could tell you I was on the International Space Station right now. It'd be pretty easy. It would look exactly like those guys. You know. But, okay, Boomer. You probably believe that in the International Space Station. Oh, I bet you believe in dinosaurs. Oh, look, there's Godzillas running around. They discovered them in the 1850s for the first time ever. No culture in the history of the world had ever discovered dinosaurs until Sir Richard Owen of the Royal Historical Society, who was the curator of a museum about dinosaurs. And he was the man who came up with the name dinosaur. And he found a giant tooth. And he said, this is the tooth of a dinosaur. A Godzilla? No, a dinosaur, a real thing. Yeah, it looks just like Godzilla, but, you know. How do you know that's not just a whale or something, or shark? No way! I mean, it's like a long ways to the ocean. There's no way a whale or a shark or whatever could have gotten this far inland. It has to be a dinosaur. Yeah, okay. And then just look into it. Every dinosaur skeleton in those museums, those aren't real bones. They're made. They won't even lie about that. They'll say, yeah, we made them. We have the real bones, or most of them. I mean, okay, yeah. We've never found a complete skeleton because they're bones, presumably from millions of years ago. Why would there still be bones preserved when, you know, even by their dumb story, it should have dissolved into dust by now. So I don't know. You know what? I don't know why, but Michael's thumb is totally falling asleep today. It has to be the way we're sitting. I can't do this for much longer, you guys. I'm sorry. How long have we been on tonight? This has been a really stupid podcast. The way win. The truth. It's been 42 minutes. I guess it's not that bad. I'm sorry. I wish this was a better podcast. Wait a minute. We're going to have to head out. Thank you for watching Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is Nanaboozhoo. And I will see you again. Gigo of a min. Minoa. Hoa. All right. And live stream. Do.